Good evening, one and all. This is Kenny Cummings here with another interview for you all as we get ready for the second annual Lexington Music Awards taking place on January 31st at the Lyric Theater starting at 6 p.m. Tickets are still available, I believe, but you better get them while they can before they sold out. Joining me at this time is the CEO. He is a guitarist and a vocalist of the Bent Penny Band. The Bent Penny Band are up for two Lexington Music Awards, Best Rock Band and Best Cover Band. I'm joined with Randy. He is with me right now. What's going on, man?
Not much, Kenny. Appreciate you having me on, buddy.
Thank you for being on, and congratulations to you and the rest of the band for the two Lexington Music Award nominations, man.
I tell you what, we're thrilled to death to be nominated once. When I got the news, I was told we were nominated, and I was just ecstatic. And then they told me that you had two nominations, and I just didn't know how to act. I'm just really, really thrilled for us.
That's awesome. And what made y'all decide to go on with becoming a band?
Well, this started in 2009. Birthday party in December. My brother, the drummer Rick Warner, decided that he would throw me a surprise birthday party, and his gift was a lot of people that I had jammed with, or played with, or had music acquaintances with, all showed up in my garage in mid-December, and we played about 5 or 6 hours. There was a ton of guitar players there, a ton of bass players, a ton of singers, and we jammed all night and had a good time. And his birthday was in January, excuse me. And I asked him, I said, I just can't top this. What do you want for your birthday? And he said, let's do it again. So in January, we did it again. And after the birthday celebrations, we decided a couple of weekends a month we were going to get together and just kind of jam. And the numbers kind of dwindled a little bit because people had other things they had to be doing, had work and so forth. And so the numbers dwindled a little bit, and we got down to a number of 5 or 6, I believe it was. And we were jamming one Saturday afternoon, and one of the gentlemen, Gary Tussey, as a matter of fact, who was a member of the Julie Tussey band and was nominated as a blues guitarist in the Lexington Music Awards, was the original lead guitar player for Bent Penny Band. And he came up and he said, how would you guys like to go to Ohio and play a charity event? And we just kind of looked at him, sure. And he said, now there's no money in it. It's strictly for fun. We may get a meal out of it, but if you want to go, we got an open invitation. So we went to, I believe it was Hamilton, Ohio, and did a charity event for a gentleman up there. And he was right. We didn't make any money. We got to eat, but we had a great time. And it ballooned from there. We just kept wanting to play. And the hardest part about being a local band is getting your foot in the door in an establishment or getting somebody to give you a chance. And Emily Syrup, I don't know if you know her, she was the music coordinator for Bogarts at Crown Plaza. We approached her and brought her a tape or a CD and said, here's what we've got. Here's our genre. We're 50s and 60s. You don't hear this anywhere. We'd like to play your establishment. And she gave us a shot. She let us have a Saturday night. She had an opening, and we went. The crowd liked us. We did well, and we ended up playing there probably every other month for about 3 years. And I credit us getting out and getting our name out and everything to Emily.
And I must say, man, that it's always good to see a band, being clicked towards each other, that love and admiration, especially when it involves family. Like, one goes, everybody goes.
You're exactly right. There's 4 years between my brother and I, and growing up, when I'm 16 and he's 12, that wasn't real cool. And when he was 16, I was 20, that wasn't real cool. There was too many years there to bond. And this band has actually brought us together and made us closer. And, we're both older and matured now. And it's an opportunity to enjoy each other and keep that close connection of family, but also do something that we passionately both share.
I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out to the rest of the Penny Band. Shout out to Clifford, who does guitar and vocals. Shout out to RC, who's on the saxophone. Shout out to Scott, he's on the keys and he's a vocalist as well. Shout out to Gary, percussion, vocalist. And the only lady of the band, Sherry. Shout out to her, bass and vocalist. So let's get to the Lexington Music Awards coming up January 31st. Up for best rock band, best cover band. But since you guys are up for two, I ask you this: if there's one out of the two awards you want to win the most, which one would it be?
I'm so honored to even be nominated. The thought of winning never really crossed our minds because we figured it was far-fetched that we would even be nominated. I guess best cover band, it says a lot. Best rock band says a lot. I think best rock band because we do a lot of entertaining with our show. We do a lot of crowd participation, crowd involvement. Clifford and I are both wireless with our guitars. We go out and walk around the crowd. And I don't think we do every song, every note the way they were originally done. And then we add a little of our own spice to it or a little of our own taste. So I think best rock band would be the biggest compliment for us.
Big thanks to David McLean.
Absolutely.
And everyone behind the scenes that's putting this together, giving people and local artists and local DJs, communities, etc., a night when we get to celebrate, when we get to just we reflect back in the last 12 months and just it's incredible because Lexington is a big city and all. It's hard to get this recognition.
You're absolutely right on that, and there are so many bands out there and so many places to play and so many different genres and so much variety out there that it's just amazing when you're out there trying to get in and get your foot in the door and look at what all's going on and the good music that's out there that nobody knows it's going on. It really makes this event important to spotlight what's going on locally.
Absolutely. So again, kudos to Dave and everyone, and to Macy as well. Just a fine job by everyone that is involved. Now, for those who has never got a chance to see the Bent Penny Band perform, what could people expect when you guys are on the bill and you're out there performing? What can people expect?
You can expect, number one, a family-friendly show. We do a lot of stuff like in Richmond for the Chamber of Arts and so forth, and we do some stuff, charity events there. And we want to make our shows to where you can bring your family, your child, your mother, or whatever, and sit back and enjoy the show. You're going to hear songs that probably you haven't heard in a while. We made a decision early on that there are a lot of good country bands in town. There are a lot of good southern rock bands in town. There's a lot of good 80s bands in town. Our niche, so forth, is 50s, 60s, and 70s music. You're going to hear some Jerry Lee Lewis. You're going to hear some Eagles. You're going to hear some Creedence Clearwater Revival. We have one section where we do 3 songs in a row, which is the Twist, Tutti Frutti, and At the Hop. And the dance floor fills up on that, and it's all ages. You're looking out there and you're seeing the youngsters, you're seeing the middle age, you're seeing the older ones, and they're just having a great time. And we want to communicate with the crowd. We don't want to just throw songs at you. We talk to you. Like I said, Clifford and I go out in the crowd and play and sing and so forth with you. We sometimes get people out of the crowd to come up and play cowbell, play tambourine, or we even had one guy come up and sing one night at one event we went to. So we were very crowd oriented and very people oriented. And at the end of the night, it's good to see people out on the dance floor dancing. It's good to see them, if they're not dancing, singing along with the words of the song. But the best compliment is coming up saying, You guys did a great job. Haven't heard those songs in years. I really appreciate what you guys are doing. And that's what it's all about. We're just, we say we're just a bunch of old guys having fun, and when the fun quits, we're going to quit. But the fun hasn't stopped.
That is absolutely a satisfaction as it gets when after a show or during an intermission, when whether it's new fans or old fans go up to you guys and say, "Man, that was an awesome song. That was great work." And it's music impact people's lives, even if whether you perform at a big audience or a small audience. It's just that it's the vibe, it's the energy that just makes it compelling, and you can't help it but to go out there and dance or sing along, and more importantly, have a good time. And clearly, that's what you guys do, and y'all do very well. And I have not seen y'all perform, but I am looking forward to seeing y'all perform in the near future for sure. Now, obviously, you got some shows coming up, so why don't you go ahead and promote the upcoming shows that this band has?
Okay, of course, we've got the Red Mile coming up Saturday night. We'll be playing 9 to 1. That's a great venue to go listen to some music in a good environment. Free admission, and it's just a good place to play. We do have, at the end of the month, we'll be playing the Friday night and Saturday night before the awards night. We'll be at Rising Sun, Indiana, playing at Rising Star Casino. We do 2 nights there from 7 to, I believe, is the hours that we play there, or 8 to midnight. 8 to midnight on Friday night, 8 to midnight on Saturday night. We'll get up early Sunday morning, tear down, come back home, and then we're all going to be in attendance for the awards presentation on Sunday night. And then after that, we've got, I'm not sure the date off the top of my head, Kenny, but we'll be back at Bogart's playing there. I think that's Keeneland opening weekend. We'll be there. You can check our website, www.bentpennyband.com, or go to our Facebook site, Bent Penny Band, and you can see lots of pictures and some sound bites from previous shows. And there's also a schedule on there of where we're going to be. And if you show up at one of the shows, don't be surprised if you don't end up on stage playing a cowbell or a tambourine, or don't get some T-shirts served at you. We like to involve everybody.
Absolutely. You heard it from now, January 31st, the Lyric Theater. Make sure you get your tickets if you haven't already. $15 is the price. You can get them online, or you can go to the Lyric store in person to pick up the tickets. If you haven't gotten them, please get them while you can, because after what happened last year, how it sold out pretty quick, I expect the exact same. I guess my last question for you is, to any aspiring musicians out there, what would your advice be to anyone that wants to get into music, that wants to be a local artist per se? What would your advice be?
Be persistent. Don't give up. Ask for advice. You'd be surprised, even though a lot of people think this market or this type of business is competitive. It is, but there's a lot of people out there who are willing to say, hey, do this, it works better, take this advice. We got advice from several people, and had a band that we actually helped us with deciding on what to purchase as far as equipment. We had one of the drummers who was not nominated, Tony Hammonds. He actually went in and helped Rick when he broke his arm and got into some issues with his drumming, and was able to help him out. There's a lot of good people out there that want to help. Don't be afraid to come up and ask. It doesn't mean you're going to get the answer you always want, but you come up and ask, and people will help, and just don't give up. Just don't give up. And while I'm thinking about it real quick, I want to thank David Congleton. He's our sound guy that goes with us everywhere, and he does the setup, tear down, does an awesome job with the sound for us and lights. And you mentioned RC. That's Robert Smith. He is a sax player for the Sensations, and he sits in with us on many of our events and really makes a difference. So there again is another musician from another band, sits in with us and helps us out from time to time. So it's a good world out there.
You're absolutely right, and you know, it is true. Whether it's local or mainstream, it will be competitive, but it doesn't mean you have to deal with it alone. Always ask for help. Always look around. You know, do some research to see who's willing to be an open hand. Because even the great artists had to start small before working their way up. And
you're exactly right on that. And even after the award ceremony is done, whether it's Bent Penny Band or whether it's any other band that's out there, go see live music. Go support the live music. Having a face in the crowd out there makes the performers' jobs a whole lot easier. And you never know what kind of talent you're going to see out there just by going and visiting. So support your local bands, support your local venues, and let people know that there's people out there listening and caring.
Well said, Randy, and thank you so much for being on the show. Tell the rest of the band I said hello and congrats on the 2 nominations, and continued success. And I'll see you guys and gals on January 31st. Thank you again for your time.
Look forward to seeing you, Kenny. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. Lexington Music Awards coming on January 31st at the legendary Lyric Theater. Come and support and celebrate local music with all of us. That will conclude this interview. My name is Kenny Cummings. I'm nominated for Best DJ. And thank you all for tuning in. And take care, everyone.
Take care.